what's really important is that instead of trying to be the disruptor, which he continually is in politics, whether through his past or indeed in recent times, he should be representing the people of Clacton.
Let's talk to Rachael Maskell. This is News Radio unfurling in front of you this afternoon here on Times Radio. Rachael Maskell, Labour MP for York Central, joins us now. Rachael Maskell, good afternoon. What do you think?
Afternoon. Well, obviously, this news coming in, you have to say, why is Nigel Farage doing this? He has a mandate from his constituency. He was elected clearly on a reform agenda just 2 years ago, and therefore none of that has changed, and therefore it's not like he's changed party or changed policy, and therefore this is about a publicity stunt by him. But instead of using his own money or that money of other people, he's now using taxpayers' money for this by-election.
Well, it is just worth pointing out that although we are fairly certain it won't be allowed to happen, Reform have offered to pay for this by-election. So just to make that clear, they've offered to pay the cost of the by-election, but it doesn't seem likely they'll be allowed to do so. Does that make it any better, Rachael Maskell?
Seems like he's trying to buy politics as well. Of course he can't pay for this by-election. What's really important is that instead of trying to be the disruptor, which he continually is in politics, whether through his past or indeed in recent times, he should be representing the people of Clacton. Sadly, we see him too infrequently in the House. He rarely ever speaks up for his constituents. He never talks about his constituents. And as a result of that, I'm sure that the people of Clacton will want to have a clear choice of somebody that is there on the ground representing them in Westminster. Well, he plays and squanders national funds to play politics. And quite frankly, this is really taking politics deeper into the gutter as opposed to elevating it to the new politics which Labour is setting out, which is an agenda of hope, which is about transforming people's lives. It's not focused on self, it's focused on the communities we serve. And as a result of that, I'm afraid he is going in the wrong direction compared to where the rest of the country is now focusing.
Do you have any truck at all with the idea that the other parties should simply not stand against him?
People are going to have to come to their conclusions as how they respond. Of course, it was represented by the Conservative Party prior to 2024, that seat. So obviously, I'm sure there will be consideration in the next few days as to who will stand and for what purpose. But I think what's really clear is that we call it out for what it is, a publicity stunt, and ensure that instead we start cleaning up our politics, which, quite frankly, there's a lot to do after Nigel Farage, not only on the money, but also the way that he abuses Parliament, as opposed to, as a parliamentarian, he should be representing his constituents, and he just doesn't do that.
Did you have any sympathy at all for him when he drew attention to the various attacks he has suffered over the years? There's no doubt that MPs of every party are vulnerable. There are some very unpleasant people about. 2 MPs have lost their lives. Does he not deserve to be protected?
The thing that was running through my mind, and I listened to the statement, was the way that the Reform Party had spliced a speech that I made, and then I received multiple death threats on the back of that. So, if we are talking about somebody that exploits other people, he certainly, and his party has certainly achieved that for others. So that was running through my mind. But of course, every parliamentarian should be kept safe. I do believe that we need politics with kindness and to listen with consideration to one another and to move forward in a more united way. But unfortunately, he has been so divisive, and I just give that example because it was meant to divide and also cause significant harm. So I think there needs to be some self-reflection as well.
OK, but listeners are pointing out, as they're bound to, Rachael, that we're just awaiting what is effectively going to be the coronation of Andy Burnham. And John says Labour MP forgetting that Makerfield was essentially a Burnham coup, but apparently that's OK. How do you answer that?
clearly there was an MP that stood aside. Andy Burnham stood as a candidate. We knew that he wanted to come back into Westminster. He wasn't already an MP. He didn't have a mandate. He didn't have a role, and he sought that and went through a proper election process to achieve that. But here we've got the same person on the same manifesto standing in the same seat. So this isn't about anything about change or difference. This is about a publicity stunt, which he is now clearly going to be costing the country around £400,000 minimum for running that.
Do you think he'll win?
I don't know. Obviously, we'll have to see. But one thing I do notice, the popularity which he once claimed seems to be wearing thin as people are waking up to the reality of what Nigel Farage is really about. He's about being able to procure that money around himself as opposed to serving the public. And I think those people whose trust he has squandered in Westminster need to really reflect on what they want out of the political system and what they want to see with that word change, because certainly I'm sure people didn't vote for that kind of politics.
Thank you, Rachael Maskell, Labour MP for York Central. Thank you very much for your time. OK, let's go to the Deputy Leader of the Green Party, Mothin Ali. Mothin Ali, good afternoon. Will the Green Party be standing in the Clacton by-election?
Good afternoon. I mean, what's happened at the moment with Nigel Farage making this announcement, he's talking about people versus the establishment. He is the very epitome of the establishment. He's a billionaire, millionaire who's profited off the back of his position for many years. He's a grifter who's gone out for this. And I really look forward to by-elections. I really look forward to going out campaigning in every single election that comes forward. We'll be really looking at this with interest and making a strategic decision as we come to it.
I mean, it's not quite the answer to my question, which was, will the Green Party be standing in the Clacton by-election?
No, absolutely. I mean, we stand in every election. That's what the Green Party does. We'll make a strategic decision as to how we stand in this election. We're meeting shortly to discuss all of that. So we'll have a real answer for you then.
Yeah. And also, it's got to be pointed out that plenty of people would say that the Green Party, you're also quite keen on the idea of being anti-establishment, aren't you? It's your bread and butter, really.
I mean, that's what the Green Party is. It's a party made up of individual members. Our subscriptions pay for our campaigning. Our subscriptions pay for our wages. We don't get massive donations from mega millionaires. We don't get corporate lobbyists. We don't take money off organisations like that. So we are a grassroots-led organisation. We're not part of the establishment.
Right.
When Nigel Farage says he's taking money off the very people who are the establishment. So
I tell you what, we could have an establishment off, couldn't we, between now and 4 o'clock about who represents the establishment and who's anti it and all the rest of it. Mothin, grateful to you for your time. I know you're busy, but thank you very much for talking to us.
Thanks for having me.
Take care now. That's Mothin Ali, Deputy Leader of the Greens.